Fans Beyond Wrestling, this is Denver, Colorado, the man, not the place, and thanks for joining us for the main event of the Ringleaders taping, a first-time ever encounter between Pinkie Sanchez and R.D. Evans. Of course, you want to talk about a contrast style between these two. R.D. Evans, a very clean-cut individual. Not the case at all with Pinkie Sanchez. And it looks like R.D. Evans going outside of the ring to apologize on behalf of Pinkie Sanchez for the dances that Josh Thor has had to witness, that he's had to endure. Of course, Josh Thor with a very commanding presence. It looks like he's going to let it slide this time.
Thor, sir, sometimes you just got to shake that ass.
And it looks like Pinkie Sanchez meant no disrespect by the dancing, although you can never tell with Pinkie Sanchez. This guy's off his rocker. You never know what kind of Pinkie Sanchez you're going to get. He's a hell of a competitor, but he's out of his friggin' mind. And it looks like R.D. Evans has no idea how to prepare for a competitor like Pinkie Sanchez, because really he's one in a million. R.D. Evans very uneasy about the prospect of stepping in there with Pinkie Sanchez. And of course, if you want to see the full entrances to this match, as well as the aftermath, what inspired Pinkie Sanchez to be dancing like that at the start of this broadcast, I urge you to click the link in the video description, as well as the link in the annotations of this video, probably distracting you from watching the match, so you can watch the director's cut again with full entrances, as well as the aftermath of this contest. But for now, things are about to get underway between R.D. Evans and Pinkie Sanchez. And you can tell things are serious because Pinkie Sanchez has taken off the bandana, and he's wearing a custom-made t-shirt that he probably stole from a fan that was coming out to support him at one of his shows. I wouldn't put it past him. Both of these individuals very vocal. So again, I do urge you to check out the director's cut of this match, especially if you don't want to hear old DC blabbering over it. But I'm going to do my best to call the action as these two tie up for the first time ever. Of course, R.D. Evans, a standout in the Texas circuit before moving to the Philadelphia area. Made a number of appearances for Ring of Honor, although he has never officially competed. And Pinkie Sanchez, a staple of East Coast independent wrestling for the better part of a decade. Pinkie Sanchez doing the best that he can to overpower the taller, and I'd have to assume stronger, R.D. Evans. But what it's going to come down to is leverage, and Pinkie Sanchez has just that to bend R.D. Evans back. Trying to force him to lose his balance to break that neck bridge, but R.D. Evans just too powerful, able to muscle his way back up to his feet. Now applying that side headlock. And a feeling out process between these two, a first time ever encounter. I'm a little bit mesmerized by what R.D. Evans has said to Pinkie Sanchez, but there is some music playing in the background. I can't identify it at this point, but it seems like neither competitors really know what to do at this situation. You see the referee, Brett Lauderdale, questioning what's even going on at this point. But again, more of that music to inspire Pinkie Sanchez. And Pinkie Sanchez is really feeling it right here. Coming alive to the sounds of the beats of the Macarena, I believe. And Pinkie Sanchez finding his second win. You see all the other wrestlers joining along on the outside. But what's Pinkie Sanchez going to do right here? It's his move. Well, Pinkie Sanchez breaking out and dance. And R.D. Evans looks like he's finally getting in touch with the music himself. I've never seen, even for Beyond Wrestling standards, this is a little bit bizarre. But again, with two outlandish individuals like Pinkie Sanchez and R.D. Evans, I mean, what else could you really expect? I mean, Aaron Epic, TJ Marconi, Johnny Mangway, all these guys get the moves. And Pinkie Sanchez really getting into it, trying to coordinate some synchronized dancing, but instead ducking under and going for that schoolboy. And R.D. Evans quick to get to the ropes, because he was in danger of losing this match. Something else about both of these guys, you know, again, so many similarities, but so much to contrast. Both of these guys have a somewhat humorous style that they like to employ to try and throw their opponents off their game, although their individual brands of humor are different. So it's going to be interesting to see if either R.D. Evans or Pinkie Sanchez came into this contest prepared for that. I would say R.D. Evans perhaps not so much as Pinkie, who even though he seems aloof at times, almost like he's not even aware of his surroundings. You know, you have to wonder how much of that is just a front and how much is really just due to the crazy nature of Pinkie Sanchez. Now R.D. Evans using those gym shorts to push Pinkie Sanchez back in the corner. Before just driving that shoulder into the midsection. Perhaps Pinkie thinking twice about wearing something a little bit more comfortable as opposed to standard wrestling gear coming into this match. But he's back in the driver's seat. He got that boot up and that flying clothesline. All impact on the face of R.D. Evans. Bringing it back up to his feet, sending him for the ride and taking him down with a great drop kick. Now Pinkie Sanchez trying to stay back on top of R.D. Evans, just slamming his posterior in his face. Again, R.D. Evans, somebody who's so prim and proper, is not going to stand for maneuvers like that. Although unable to get out of the way of the second one. Not too keen on what he's smelling. Of course, Pinkie Sanchez coming from a place where it always smells like it's hot. Now stepping over in the third butt right in the face. And leaping over right into the pin. The lateral press, but the legs were not hooked. And R.D. Evans is out at 2. Pinkie Sanchez feeding off the energy of all the other wrestlers here around ringside. Again, somebody that's a favorite not only on the circuit, but also a favorite at Beyond Wrestling because of his accomplishments. Somebody who's competed for CHIKARA, CZW, Evolve, Dragon Gate USA. And now knocking R.D. Evans off the apron. Showing why he's been booked at so many different places, what he has to offer the wrestling circuit. And he's going to be looking to dive. Instead, coming through with that drop kick, sending R.D. Evans right down to the concrete. You hear that thud. That inch of padding not doing much to protect him, and Pinkie Sanchez is just a wild man. But now, going for that double axe handle, he's pushed aside and sent sternum first into the secondary ring here in this facility here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Now R.D. Evans looking to capitalize. He's got Pinkie Sanchez hooked up and just ramming him sternum first into that post. Now finishing the combination with a swinging gut buster, and Pinkie Sanchez is in trouble. R.D. Evans, though, not quick to act, instead taking the time to tighten that sash. And it's a bizarre juxtaposition with R.D. Evans, somebody who's so prim and proper, but at the same time has such a violent mean streak. I don't know if I trust this R.D. Evans guy. I mean, he almost strikes me as like a sociopath. There's just something not right about him. I'm not going to argue with the results, though. And getting back to the action. Nailing that headbutt to the midsection. Although Pinkie Sanchez holding his lower extremities. That's a tough call for the official. You got to think that R.D. Evans was looking to inflict punishment on the midsection, which he had just targeted, but again, you don't know with this guy. You can't trust him. Now just a series of stomps, putting the boots to Pinkie Sanchez, just really grinding it in. Working over the abdomen, and again dropping that headbutt. It was clear from this position where he targeted, but Pinkie Sanchez still able to kick out. Here's some of the other wrestlers starting to clap, trying to give Pinkie Sanchez that second wind. Pinkie, he looks like he's in trouble here, all hooked up. And again, another gut buster. R.D. Evans with the lateral press once again. And Pinkie Sanchez able to get the shoulders off the mat. R.D. Evans looking to send Pinkie Sanchez off the ropes. Moving out of the way, able to position him in that ab stretch. Going to continue to work on the solar plexus. And now you see R.D. Evans just grinding that fist right to the side of Pinkie Sanchez. But Pinkie able to find a counter. R.D. did not have the leverage that he wanted as a result of moving his hand out of position. Able to move out of the way of that sledge attempt and caught him with one big boot right to the mouth. I think R.D. Evans surprised himself right there. Certainly able to stop the building momentum of Pinkie Sanchez. Now R.D. Evans looking to come off the top. Again, here in Beyond Wrestling, with all the other wrestlers on ringside, he's going to be looking to impress his peers as well as all the other people that are watching this match right now. Although I think by now, most of the fans of the independent wrestling community are fully aware of what he's capable of. And Pinkie Sanchez finding out for himself firsthand. Desperate times calling for desperate measures. Artie Evans getting crotched up on that top rope. And now Pinkie Sanchez trying to position Artie Evans. Not sure what he's trying to do. Hard for me to tell from that vantage point. It looked like Pinkie was pinching him. Now Pinkie perhaps going for that top rope Hurricane Rana. Not sure if Artie Evans is looking for a counter right here. Unable to get it. You saw him trying to hold on to the body of Pinkie Sanchez, but just not strong enough. And Pinkie with the proper technique to take Artie Evans over. Only a 2. And Pinkie is on fire right now. Really unloading a series of elbows with the proper execution. And he has Artie Evans bouncing around like a pinball right now. Pinkie Sanchez perhaps taking too much time. Now reaching into his pants. Oh, and that's definitely uncalled for. I'm sorry. No need to do that in a wrestling match. But again, it just goes back to the psychological advantage Pinkie Sanchez trying to get over his much larger opponent. You have to think just based on physical stats alone, Artie Evans is the favorite in this contest. Pinkie Sanchez, the veteran, is going to be looking to pull out maneuvers like that. While he's got Artie Evans trapped. It's just driving him head first into his own posterior. Almost a dozen times right there. And Pinkie Sanchez still having a good time, in spite of all the punishment that he's endured thus far. Now coming up with that cartwheel and just jumping butt first. Again, just rubbing his dirty rump in the face of Artie Evans. Having a break before the official disqualifies him. Not sure that that's an illegal hold, more so trapping his opponent in the corner. And here we see Artie Evans struggling to breathe. I mean, maybe that can be considered a chokehold. It's going to be up to the official's discretion. Referee Brett Lauderdale doing a tremendous job calling the action this weekend. Oh, and Pinkie caught him right there, coming off the apron and just landing on him. The entire weight of his body crushing Artie Evans on the concrete. And Pinkie Sanchez with enough time for a snack. And now Pinkie Sanchez emulating the Great Muta with a water mist to the face of Artie Evans again. Anything that he can do to make Artie Evans dirtier is going to work to his advantage because it's going to throw Artie Evans off of his game. Only going to serve to frustrate him. Artie Evans, to his credit, up to his feet and able to stop Pinkie Sanchez from coming off the top rope. Although perhaps I spoke too soon, perhaps Artie Evans is going to be looking to send Pinkie Sanchez off the top. He's got him cradled across the shoulders. You're going to wonder if he's going to be looking to target that midsection once again. But a gutbuster from this position could spell certain doom for Pinkie Sanchez. You see Pinkie clutching his guts. He's in trouble. The leg is hooked. 2, throw! And that was a close call. Take another look at that. Artie Evans sending Pinkie Sanchez about 10 feet into the air. And Pinkie really getting caught on the knee. A bad angle. With every maneuver like that, Artie Evans is knocking the wind out of Pinkie Sanchez. And if you can't breathe, you can't wrestle. You're going to think that that was perhaps Pinkie's strategy when he was rubbing his butt in Artie Evans' face in the corner a couple minutes ago. But Pinkie able to find an escape, putting on the brakes. Got Artie Evans tied up in the ropes and coming in again with the ass attack. Moving out of the way of the clothesline and just a double chop. And this is the opening that Pinkie Sanchez needs to capitalize on. Pinkie's really reaching deep here, trying to use the last of the energy in the reserves. And Again, whoever's going to get to their feet first is going to have the advantage. Artie Evans smart to use the ropes to pull himself up. Pinkie Sanchez doing it on his own. They meet in the middle of the ring. And Pinkie firing away with the right hand. Artie Evans on spaghetti legs, but responding with one of his own. Pinkie staggered and just psyching out Artie Evans, catching him with that left jab. Neither man able to gain the advantage. And Pinkie firing away with another right. Artie Evans down to a knee. Artie's back up, and Pinkie wants another shot. That could have been a mistake. Another left from Pinkie. And another. And a third. A fourth. But Artie Evans not playing that game anymore, burying the knee in the midsection that he's been working on all match. Pinkie basically able to shrug it off, but just comes running to that big boot again. And great extension. Again, the long limbs of Artie Evans. Pinkie Sanchez not able to get out of the way. This time catching the third boot, coming around. And look at that variation of the dragon screw. Not only torquing the knee, but turning Artie Evans inside out. And now it looks like Pinkie Sanchez has found the opening that he's looking for. He's going to be trying to strap on that figure 4 leg lock on the long legs of Artie Evans. It took a couple of boots to the mush for him to realize that this may be his best course of action. As much as he's been able to get in the head of his opponent with all of those butt attacks, it looks like this is really going to be the biggest weakness that he can exploit. And Artie Evans is struggling right here. Again, with those long limbs, it's going to make it easier for him to get to the ropes than a lot of other competitors that Pinkie Sanchez may have faced when he's been utilizing this strategy. But so far, to Pinkie's credit, he's been able to keep Artie Evans in the center of the ring. Now Artie Evans reversing the hold and looking to apply whatever pressure he can. And look at the way that Pinkie Sanchez's far leg is bent. Of course, Artie Evans using his own leg as the point of contact and just sitting back to bend Pinkie Sanchez's ankle, really hyper and extend that knee. And Pinkie Sanchez, I mean, his strategy may have backfired, but no, able to finally find that reversal. You know, if I were Artie Evans, I think I would have just grabbed the rope to break the hold when I was that close. And now you see the way he's trying to shift his body weight, but I mean, how much energy is going to have to expel in the process. Artie Evans seriously considering giving up right here. He's about 6 to 10 inches away from that rope by my judgment. And you see him reaching across his own chest with the far arm. That way he can keep that left arm in place to alleviate as much of the pressure as possible.
Someone call the ASPCA.
Well, Artie Evans thinks that he's been abused by Pinkie Sanchez, but these two going back and forth, and Artie again finding a kick with those long legs. But that was a mistake because Pinkie responds with one of his own, and you've got to think that Artie Evans' legs are worse for wear at this point in the contest. Pinkie again kicking away. Artie Evans again down to one knee. Not the smartest strategy out of Artie Evans. But again, this guy's an in-ring tactician, always thinking 3 or 4 moves ahead of his opponent. For somebody as unpredictable as Pinkie Sanchez, I'm not sure how effective that strategy is. But you've got to think that Artie Evans has something in mind other than basically just further punishing himself. Pinkie blocking the kicks. This time getting the butt in place. Sweeping out the legs. Now coming off the ropes and catching him with that shining hiney. What elevation, what impact. You saw the recoil launching Pinkie Sanchez across the ring. And the valuable time wasted have to get back on his opponent to try and cover him could have been the difference between a win and a loss. But the match will continue. Pinkie Sanchez hasn't lost this one yet, though. And as it stands right now, the momentum of this contest is still shifted in his favor. Now just driving Artie Evans face first into that top buckle. Going to the high rent district, trying to position his larger opponent on those wobbly ropes. We've seen so many competitors have a number of issues all weekend. Perhaps Pinkie Sanchez operating on instinct alone. And Artie Evans' legs are all tied up. He's hooked. Not only the pressure on that left leg, but he's not able to extricate himself from this position. And we know that Pinkie Sanchez loves to use the booties for breakfast for this position. R.D. Evans trying to pull himself up to alleviate some of the pressure, but instead able to just slide out of the way. Tripping Pinkie Sanchez up, able to take the legs out from underneath him. Look at the work that R.D. Evans is putting in right now from that position, and finally able to free himself. And even though the point of contact is the legs, you got to think that he's going to be trying to bend Pinkie Sanchez in a way that's going to be stretching his abdomen more than anything, almost like an inverted Boston crab. Instead of working on the back, working on the midsection that R.D. Evans has been targeting the entire contest. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure that doesn't feel too good on the legs either, but this is a great, effective maneuver from R.D. Evans, really utilizing probably the best offensive maneuver at his disposal at this point in the contest. Of course, R.D. Evans lost his first match to T.J. Marconi. He reintroduced himself today. Said that today was his debut in Beyond Wrestling. Let the record stand that T.J. Marconi was able to knock off R.D. Evans yesterday. But you've got to think if in that one day's time, R.D. Evans has become acclimated enough with the unique atmosphere here at Beyond Wrestling that he's going to be able to win the match today. And now with that body scissors applied too, again targeting the midsection as well as putting pressure on the legs, and Pinkie is fading fast. You can just tell Pinkie in excruciating amounts of pain. Doesn't want to give it up, but there's no way he's going to be able to drag R.D. Evans' body weight just with his upper body strength alone. Unless he can free his legs, Pinkie's going to be out. His arm drops for a second time. And R.D. Evans has beaten Pinkie Sanchez.